Welcome back to the Man to Man Sports Podcast. I'm Brad.
And I'm Ethan. Welcome to our episode where we're going to be talking about the Week 12 recap, or the Week 12 preview of the NFL and the NBA. But of course, to start out, we have our answer to our trivia question from the last episode.
That's right. The question was, who had the most passing yards in a Super Bowl in a losing effort? You got the top one, which was Tom Brady, 505 yards in a losing effort to the Eagles and Nick Foles in 2018.
Yeah.
You could not get 2 and 3, so we'll start with number 2, and that was Kurt Warner back in 2009 against Big Ben and the Steelers. He threw 377 yards,
Wow.
3 touchdowns, no turnovers, still lost.
That's impressive.
And number 3 was also Kurt Warner, 365 yards against the Patriots in 2002. Of course, Tom Brady's coming up there, his first Super Bowl win. Kurt Warner, 365 yards, but he did throw only 1 touchdown and 2 picks in that game against a very good Patriots defense. And so there you have it. Those are the top 3 most Super Bowl passing yards in a losing effort.
Yeah, those were some good games. It's funny. Kurt Warner's on there twice.
Yeah, poor Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner, yeah.
He won 1 out of 3 Super Bowls, but I really do felt like he was just a borderline player until he took the Cardinals to their only Super Bowl, and of course, losing to the Steelers in a very close, very exciting football game. To me, it may be one of the best Super Bowls ever played. I really enjoyed that game. So, Kurt Warner sealed himself in the Hall of Fame with that.
Yeah.
And with that, we will move on to our NBA segment.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right. So our top 3 NBA performers this week. Starting out with number 3, the old man Steph Curry had 2 40-point games this week, a 49er and a 46-point game, while shooting over 50% in both games. The one game he shot like 62%.
Wow.
Yeah, very good for a shooting guard. It's unreal. And so
Shooting guard.
Well, shooting/point guard. Let's face it, the dude shoots a lot, and he's a guard. So
he's a point guard though. For his ball handling and passing, is still a very big strength of his.
Very, very true. Very true. He is one of the best ball handlers of all time in my book.
Yeah.
And the greatest 3-point shooter to ever play the game.
Yeah, that's no question. Yeah.
Sorry, Reggie Miller. Sorry, Ray Allen.
Klay Thompson.
It's
not even close.
It's Steph. Yeah. It's Steph. Coming in at number 2, on the top 3 yet again is Nikola Jokic. He had a 55-point game this week.
Yeah.
He had 2 triple-doubles this week. The guy is unstoppable right now.
I love watching his interviews. He always cracks a joke. He's a super funny guy as well. They were talking about, like, Jamal Murray had a really good defensive game. What are your thoughts on how good he is at defense or something like that? He just goes, he doesn't play defense. He's just stat padding.
Oh, that's funny. That is good. Joker coming in on this list yet again. Our number 1 spot this week goes to Jalen Johnson, however. He had 4 double-double games this week. He had 1 triple-double. He had 1 game with 7 steals.
Wow.
So quite a week for Jalen Johnson. Certainly a guy who could end up being an NBA All-Star this season. And, who knows? I feel like the Joker looks like the MVP right now, but if Johnson can get the team turned around, maybe he's in that conversation as well.
I would definitely not say so. Double-doubles are very common now. People average double-doubles. We've seen someone average triple-double at this point. So that stat doesn't really matter as much to me as the 7 steals and the triple-double, which is still impressive.
Yeah, the 7 steals to me really sticks out for a big man.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. I've been a fan of his from the jump, but to me it is the Joker. Right now, the early season MVP.
He's close to averaging a triple-double.
So. He really is. He's right there on the verge of it, and he's got his team in second place in the West. So it's just going to be another good year for the Nuggets, I think.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you have Joker at the helm, as we've said. Who is Batman when no one can stop the Joker?
Very true. I don't know that there is one out there who could defensively shut him down.
Yeah, I was watching a video about him the other day. Like, he came into the league as the third string center for Denver Nuggets. Uh, the two people above him get hurt, so he gets a chance to go in the game. And their offense becomes more efficient. They go back to look at the tapes, and they see Nikola Jokic just stands there, and people just cut around him. And he's just such a good passer that, like, every time it was a bucket. And that's where his career started. It's a really cool way to start your career. And now he's, of course, the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, actually, I'm a nerd, so I went back and looked at the centers, the top centers in each league for like the last 30 years.
Okay.
And it's pretty amazing to see the progression he's had from his first year till now. One of the most improved players out of nowhere that I can think of. And he's really kind of changed because for years, the center position really kind of went away as a force in the NBA. And it's certainly back now with him and Embiid and, Wemby, other guys. But Jokic really changed how the center position is played.
Yeah, the big thing with centers is the short span of their career because of injuries. But Jokic has had a long career, which is really impressive. I was sad to see Wemby get hurt this week. You don't want to see that from someone that tall because that can, like, even the smallest injury can offset their career. And I hope he bounces back. And I know he will bounce back. I just hope this doesn't happen or become like a habit.
Yeah, well, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned how he reminded me of Ralph Sampson.
Okay.
And this kind of mirrors Ralph. Ralph started having these minor injuries and then a major one, and he never could rebound from that. I really hope Wemby's not that case. I really enjoy watching him play. I think he could have a Hall of Fame career if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, he's really good. I saw some flashes from Cooper Flagg this week. He had a couple of good plays. He's starting to get used to the NBA feel.
Yeah, he is. I think, kids kind of treating him with baby gloves. He's in the starting lineup, but he's not like you're the guy.
Exactly.
And so I think that is going to pay off at the end of the season, especially. I think you let the kid get in there, let him grow.
And I think by the time Kyrie's back, you have another person to look at and draw attention away from Cooper Flagg. It's going to really help the whole team.
Yeah, I could see the Mavericks really being a tough team at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a surprise team for sure, maybe.
And the caveat will be Kyrie, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson not really playing as well this season. Kyrie really needs to step up.
Absolutely. And I think he will. I think you're right.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Mavericks will be a tough team come the end of the season. But on to our games to watch this week. I didn't really see any major marquee matchups as far as players go.
Okay.
But I looked at the seeding, and so I went with two Friday night games. First one being Denver at Houston. That's your 2 seed versus your 3 seed. Of course, it's Jokic.
This has a lot to do with the NBA Cup as well. So
that's right. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, I really like this as a fun game to watch. I'm a big fan of KD. I always have been. And of course, the Joker.
Yeah, of course, the Joker. I think that's a good matchup. Joker versus Sengun. Sengun's really coming out this season. I saw an interview with Kevin Durant, and they asked him, "Have you ever played with a center that's like this dynamic on offense, like just that good of a scorer on offense?" And he's like, "No, this is the best offensive scorer." He's like, not to take away from the great players I've played with, like Serge Ibaka or DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
But they're like rebounding and defensive threats, where Sengun is just a really good offense and rebounder player.
Yeah, very good rebounder in his own right, but has that scoring element. So
yes,
I think him and Jokic will be a fun matchup to watch for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
All right, I have another Friday night game, and that's Timberwolves at Phoenix. This is a 9-5 team versus an 8-6 team. So 2 teams that are really on the verge of breaking into the playoffs if they continue on that trend. Of course, Minnesota with Ant and Gobert, and I think Julius Randle
Yeah,
may be coming
Julius
back.
Randle.
And so that's a good team, a good core team. And then you have Phoenix.
Yeah, this Phoenix team, I had them projected pretty low this year. I didn't expect them to be so good with the trades they made over the offseason.
Yeah.
But they've really stepped in. Jalen Green has been playing really well alongside with, of course, Devin Booker. And I think that's a marquee matchup between Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker. It's a really good matchup. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think in the last game I'd probably pick Denver pretty handily, but in this game I would probably go with Minnesota. I think Anthony Edwards playing really well, and I think they're just a more rounded team with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert down low.
Yeah, I think Ant is the key player in this matchup.
Yeah,
If he has a good game, I think Minnesota wins easily. If Phoenix can kind of shut him down, or him and Booker are trading baskets,
yeah,
then it could be an interesting game for sure. And so that's our 2 Friday night matchups. Over the weekend, I'm going to be watching football. But then come Monday, I think there's another good matchup to watch, and that's Cleveland at Toronto, a surprising team. So Cleveland is the 2 seed in the East. Toronto is the 3. So very surprising there, and I think that'll be a fun game to watch.
I agree. It'll be a fun game to watch. I don't think Toronto keeps that 3 seed, of course. They could be a sneaky, play-in team where they could make it through the play-in tournament. But I will take, of course, Cleveland in this game. I don't know. Darius Garland will be back by then. He suffered a little bit of an injury again. I think he will be back, and that will be the deciding factor. I think they win if Garland's playing. I like this Cleveland team. We've talked about them a lot this year. They're good.
Well, and yeah, we've talked about them a lot. I like their core 4 players, really.
Yeah.
With Mobley and Hunter and Garland, and of course the best player on the team, perhaps.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah. And so it's a really core team there, but I think this Toronto team is surprising, and they're playing much better. R.J. Barrett on the team.
Yeah.
I could see them being in the playoffs this year, and it's just surprising to me they've done so well early this season.
And so we will move on to the NFL, of course. We have our Week 12 preview. We're going to go over the primetime games, some of the best games of the week. And, of course, that will start off with the Thursday night game, Buffalo at Houston. It's going to be a good game. I like both these teams. I think the key factor is C.J. Stroud playing.
Absolutely. If C.J. Stroud plays, this is going to be a heck of a football game.
Yeah.
Without him, I think Buffalo walks away with it.
I agree.
But you got to give Houston's defense credit. They will give Josh Allen all he can handle.
Yes. He's not scoring 6 touchdowns again. It'd be lucky if there's 6 touchdowns scored in this game.
I would agree with that. I think this will be a low-scoring affair. I do think that Woody Marks has a good game against this Russian defense of the Bills. It struggled, and I think that is really Houston's only saving grace is if C.J. Stroud plays and they can get the run and play action going.
Yeah,
they've got a good shot at winning this ball game. If Stroud doesn't play and they can't run the football, I think that it's Bills to have. I'm picking the Bills 21-18, that type of game.
Okay.
If Stroud's out, this could be like a 21-7 game.
Yeah. Houston Stadium is indoors, right?
Yes, sir.
So kicking is not going to be a problem. This one's going to be a lot of field goals. That's why I was asking. And so I will take the Bills as well. I think the Bills will win. If the win's a factor at this time of year right now, it's anyone's game because it could come down to a missed field goal. I think Buffalo takes this handily inside the Josh Allen will destroy.
Absolutely, I agree with that. What's the next game?
So we move on to our first 1 o'clock game. Of course, the Colts at Kansas City. This one's at Arrowhead, which makes it a little bit more interesting. Kansas City's not been playing up to expectation. The Colts have been playing over expectation. So this is going to be a really good matchup, even though it is an 8-2 team versus a 5-5 team. Which, a lot of people wouldn't say is a good game most of the time. But when it's the Chiefs at Arrowhead, they've always got a chance. Jonathan Taylor versus Patrick Mahomes.
No one has been able to stop Jonathan Taylor all year. the Chiefs' defense has been great, but their one weakness has been in certain games, Chris Jones and that defensive line not holding up against the run.
Yeah.
So if
They looked good against the run last week,
Yes.
but Bo Nix stepped up. It could become like kind of the same thing. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's getting 100 yards. Just a given at this point.
I think that they'll bottle him up for the most part, but Jonathan Taylor is going to get loose.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Saquon. You might hold him to 3 yards of carry.
Yeah, like
but-
Saquon last year or like Derrick Henry like
yeah,
the 5 years prior.
right. Yeah, you might hold them to 3 yards, but then they're going to break that 50-yarder. And I think that's what happens in this game.
Yeah.
I would not surprise me if the Chiefs can pull off an upset here. But with the Colts coming off the bye, I like the Colts in this game just barely.
Wow. I don't hate that pick, especially coming off the bye. I forgot about that. But I've got to stick with Kansas City. They're going to turn it around at some point. The Colts have got to lose one at some point.
Right.
I think this is the game. I think Kansas City does it. I think Patrick Mahomes has one of those Mahomes performances. I think he throws for 300 yards, maybe 3 touchdowns. It'll be a good game. Sauce Gardner on the other side of a good matchup.
Well, and that's the key. If the Chiefs can light it up early and kind of take Taylor out of the game a little bit, then they've got a real shot at winning the game. But if the Colts come in and they score right off the bat and they're up 2 scores, you can book it.
Oh, yeah, because, Taylor's running out that clock.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that statement. That is a good way to look at this game. Move on to the next game.
Sure.
We're going to go on to the Sunday night game. We got Tampa Bay at LA against the Rams this week. A marquee matchup. The Rams are the top of the NFC right now. Tampa Bay is on a little bit of a slide, but we know they have the talent. The big factor in this game, of course, is Bucky Irvin playing.
Yeah, right now they're saying that he is going to play.
Sweet, yeah.
And if you have Bucky coming back healthy, along with the performance that Sean Tucker put in last week, that's a pretty dynamic duo there.
Yeah.
And then you throw in White as well, and they're going to keep a fresh running back there. That will be the Tampa Bay saving grace because this Rams team is so well rounded. It is hard to get anything by them.
Yeah, a most well-rounded team. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, kind of like that Buffalo-Tampa Bay game was last week. And that this LA Rams offense is so good. The Tampa Bay offense is great with Bucky Irvin in the game. It's going to be a really high-scoring game. I will have to take the Rams in this one, though. I do. The Rams are just so good right now. They look unbeatable.
It's hard for me to say that Tampa Bay is going to lose 4 straight games. I just find that hard to believe.
Well, 4 games in 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 games.
Yeah.
I just find that hard to believe. I think Baker is really too good for that. But in this case, I got to go Rams. I mean, the Rams are just the best team in the NFL right now
Yeah.
until someone can knock them off, and I don't think that's the Bucs.
If you told me it was, would not be mad at you. I could see it, but I do think the Rams keep rolling in this one, especially since it's at home. If it was at Tampa Bay and LA had to travel cross country, maybe a little different story.
Yeah, but it's in SoFi, and Matt Stafford loves playing there. So.
Especially when the lights are bright like it will be on Sunday night. Make sure to tune in for that one. We'll move on to the Monday night game. Will Carolina fold under the lights, or will San Francisco keep lighting it up at San Francisco? This is a good game, especially since Carolina's on the rise and San Francisco's been kind of up and down throughout the season. But they've looked great with Brock Purdy. Give me San Francisco in this one. I think they finally take Carolina off this 6-2 run that they're on.
I tell you, like you said, 6-2 run. They're in the running to win the South.
Yeah.
They're in the. You could talk about them as winning a wild card even with the way they've been playing. I mean, you extrapolate that 6-2 run out, and all of a sudden you've got a 10-11 game winning team here. And so Carolina is definitely on the rise.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle is, like I said, the heartbeat of this team. You got Tataroa, and they've got a good core of young players on this team. Derek Brown in the middle of that defense. is outstanding. J.C. Horn is probably one of the best corners in football. However, the Niners are getting healthy. They got Jawan Johnson back. CMC is healthy. They've got Brock Purdy. This defense is still tough. It's not what it was with Fred Warner, but it's still a good defense. And I think you're right. I hate to pick with you, but I think the Niners will take this game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think many people would disagree with that. It's still a good game to bring up because Carolina is on the rise. And this is a game that could determine that wild card spot. Like you said, Carolina wins this, they have a tied record right now. And so then Carolina gets the nod there, and they're in the playoffs. So this is a big game for playoff standings. Either team could win. San Francisco is favored in this game, and I'm sticking with that, especially since they're at home.
If Bryce Young can hang another 300 or 400 yards in the air,
and
then Rico does what Rico does, the Niners could be in trouble. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I just think their defense is a little too good for that to happen.
I agree.
And the Niners' offense, it was humming with Brock Purdy at the helm. So
that is our Week 12 NFL games. We will move on to our boom or bust this week. I'll start it off this week. Sure. I always start off with the defense, of course, and I'm going with the Seattle defense this week against Tennessee. I always pick defenses going up against bad offense, I know, but the Seattle defense is good. I just wanted to shine a light on that. Projected 22 points, and they're going to outperform it.
I can't argue that. I looked at that as well as a good boom team there. If you're looking to pick up a defense in some miraculous way, Seattle's available.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you're playing in a 6-team league or something.
Maybe.
Pick up Seattle. My boom this week I mentioned it earlier, is Houston Texans running back Woody Marks against this Bills offense. Especially if C.J. Stroud plays, I look for him to have a big game and certainly surpass the 12 points he's projected.
Yeah, only 12 points. It's a good one.
Yeah.
My second boom this week is Kyren Williams, projected 16.5 this week. Tampa Bay against the Rams. Like I said, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and Kyron's going to be a beneficiary of that. He'll get a touchdown in there.
Kyren does it all. He runs, he blocks, he catches, and that's why he gets the ball so much. And I think that's not a bad pick. James Cook had a good game against the Bucs.
Sure.
And so I could very seriously see him getting 100, 150 yards total and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, that'd be 20-plus points. That'd be great.
For my boom, I took a page out of your book, and I went with that Patriots defense this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a big game. They're playing a lesser offense. And
especially with Jamar Chase out, that is a good pick. I agree.
That is why I picked it right there. You've got Flacco, who's played his butt off. I'll give him that. And you still have T. Higgins and Chase Brown, but without Jamar, I don't think they've got a shot against this defense.
No, I agree. That's a good pick. It's they're going to not score a lot. And so we'll move on to our bust this week. Those are good booms. Move on to the bust this week. My bust is Daniel Jones. Nothing against Daniel Jones. I think he's becoming a great player this season. They're going up against Kansas City this week. Kansas City is a good team, and he's projected 27 points. It's a lot of points. I don't think he gets 27. I could still see him getting 20 plus, but he's not getting 27.
27's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I think that's a great pick because 27 is hard to get against any team.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
I agree. Yeah.
And so my bust, let me channel my inner Commander fan here.
Okay.
And my bust this week is running back Javonte Williams against this stout running defense. I think the Cowboys are going to get in a shootout like they did last time with the Eagles, and I think they're going to throw the ball. I think Cowboys are not running up the middle, and I think the Eagles are going to struggle up the middle against this new Cowboys defense. So I think it's going to be a passing game, and because of that, Javonte Williams is left out to dry, and he is a bust this week.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, Javonte Williams had a good game last time, but that was without Jalen Carter in the game. Exactly. So I think Jalen Carter and, of course, the addition of Phillips is going to hinder that performance where he got like 25 in the first game. What was he projected?
He was projected like 25 points.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I think he gets like 15 to 20 maybe.
Yeah, if that. I don't even think
Yeah.
he hits that. I think he's in that 12 to 15 range.
Okay.
And I think if the Cowboys are game planning like Carter's not in the game like game one, then they're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
In this game.
I completely agree. That's our boom or bust picks of the week. It is unfortunately our last episode. We hope you liked it, of course. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If we get enough views, likes, we'll keep this running, but we thank you, of course.
Yeah, all the people that have supported us. We did have several subscribers and people who do watch weekly, people who answer our trivia weekly. We do appreciate all the support you've given us. It's just a lot for us to do with not a lot of viewers. And we've got a lot going on with the holidays, and so
Yes.
Unless something drastically changes, this is it. But we do thank you and appreciate it. And who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yes. If we get 50 likes on this, we'll definitely run it back.
50
likes.
likes. Okay, sure. If we get 50 likes, we'll keep it rolling.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we don't get those 50 likes, then I'll give you one final deuces.
Deuces.